up and sit down.
Hey everybody, this is YGOanimeDecksNDuels. I'm Shane.
And I'm Mac.
And we have a deck review on Dartz Orichalcos deck. It's a really cool deck. It's it's fun so far. We've used it a couple times. We've got one battle with it between him and Yugi's Waking the Dragons deck. And it's really confusing at the same time, but we're gonna go through it here to kind of hopefully clear things up maybe. Alright, so first I have for you the Great Leviathan. Yeah, that's really cool. Now, once again, these cards are all fake that we had
made.
It
took us a long time to get this.
Yeah, it took us a minute. So there's the Great Leviathan, pretty awesome. 3,500 attack. You have to tribute 3 Orichalcos monsters and an Orichalcos field spell card that is continuous. When he is summoned, it can't be negated. Monster effects don't work on him. Trap and spell cards don't work on him. And he destroys all monsters on your opponent's side of the field, and they have to discard their hand. And for the number of monsters and spells and traps sent to the graveyard, your opponent loses 500 life points for each card. So it's pretty awesome.
Epic card.
Next I have Orichalcos Soldier number 1. We have 3 of these. Dart did not use a whole lot of cards, so he's got a lot of repeats in this deck. I like this card because he's got 2,000 attack and 1,500 defense, and he's only a 4-star monster. So he's a 4-star beater is what he is. Then we have Orichalcos Soldier number 2. We got 3 of those also. I'm going to put them like this because haha. And, he's a normal monster, 4-star, a little weaker, but he's flip-flop. He's got 1,500 attack and 2,000 defense. So, he's your 4-star defender, Then we have Orichalcos Malevolence, and I want to commend myself. I think I'm saying this actually pretty good, Orichalcos.
Very good. Better
I might have it now. I think I have it down. This guy's cool. He's a fiend, an effect monster, 1,500 attack, 0 defense. Once per turn, you can switch a defense position monster your opponent controls to attack position. This is awesome. Like in our video between Dart and Yugi, you see he does it to Giant Soldier of Stone, puts him in attack position, gets around that 2,000.
Also, just a note, he's probably about our worst looking fake card we have ever, but it is what it is. We can only do so much with quality.
Alright, now we have Orichalcos Gigas. I guess Gigas, that's how you say that?
The best Orichalcos.
He is like by far the best Orichalcos like low level monster.
Yeah.
He's destroyed. You immediately can special summon him back to the field with a counter, and that counter, does it call it a counter?
It's pretty much counter. He gains 400 attack for each time you do that.
Yeah.
500 attack.
500 attack.
Yeah.
And then, you can just keep doing that over and over. There's no limit.
Yeah. He's kind of like Revival Jam, except better.
Yeah. Then we have Orichalcos Kayutora.
Yep.
Kayutora, I believe.
Yep.
This card kind of a little creepy. It's an eye with hair, and then legs or something, whatever's on it. But it's a rock monster, and in effect has 500 attack, 500 defense. Sorry, kind of like voice went away for a second. I don't know why. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned if you pay 500 life points. And then the cool thing to do, I didn't do it in the duel against Yugi because I forgot, but you can turn around and attack your opponent, destroying this, and then summoning Orichalcos Dexia, I believe it's called. Dexia, and then Asterios, and then Sonoros.
Yep.
You can summon them from your deck or hand. But if you have one of them in a graveyard, you can't summon that one.
Really good card and easy, flip other monsters out of your deck to your side of your field.
Speak of the devil and he will appear. Here we go. We got Orichalcos Aristeros, Orichalcos Shuneros, and then Orichalcos Dexia. These cards are a little confusing because none of them have attack, none of them have defense. He didn't like my order, so he's changing it. Anyways, so we'll start with Dexia. It's a machine and effect. This card cannot be normal summoned or set, and it can only be special summoned after Kayutora. Alright, then when this card battles with your opponent's monster, the attack of this card becomes equal to either the attack position monster's attack Or if it's attacking a defense position monster, it becomes equal to its defense plus 300, and that's for the attack and the defense. And then when he's destroyed, there's something about when he's destroyed too. After damage, it's after damage calculation. And its attacks only increase during damage calculation. But after damage calculation, Orichalcos Shuneros you control loses attack equal to the attack of the attack this card had during the damage step. So when this Orichalcos Shuneros is removed from the field, you destroy this card. Same with this one over here. So let's move on to this one. These bad boys are confusing. This one is the same summoning situation as the other one. When this card is selected as an attack, target the defense of the card. The defense of this card becomes equal to the attack of the attacking monster plus 300 during the damage step only. After damage calculation, one Orichalcos Shuneros you control loses attack equal to the defense this card had during the damage step. So ideally this will have like 0 defense during the damage step, I guess. But
which that's actually beneficial because of his effect.
And then when this is when Shuneros is removed from the field, you destroy this card as well. Now we've got this guy. I think he's cool looking. Like he's kind of like, I don't know, like one of those clay knights or something, like a pottery soldier.
Yeah, that's a good
anyways,
pottery soldier.
A ceramic soldier. Same summoning situations. This card's original attack is equal to the amount of battle damage that was reduced to 0 by Kaiutu. That's the other effect I forgot to say on here. Like I said, these are super confusing cards. You do not take... See, while this card is face up on the field, all battle damage you take becomes 0. When this card is destroyed, you can special summon these monsters. So the damage that is reduced to 0 is what his attack becomes.
Yes.
And then, see... Where was I at on here? I don't even remember now. If this card battles an opponent's monster after damage calculation, it loses attack equal to either the attack position monster's attack or its defense, if it was a defense position monster. Depending on the battle position, well, that's what I just said. When this card is destroyed, while it has 0 attack, special summon Divine Serpent.
The strongest card in that deck.
It's from your hand or deck. And he is the strongest monster. And here he is, the Divine Serpent, Gay, or Gay, as I said when I first read it. I don't know, it doesn't even look like gay, but that's what I said. It's like Ghost Rare is what they were aiming for. Think about it, we like can't see the monster at all. You can kind of maybe see it. I don't know. I don't think you can. But in the right light, we can kind of see something there. And this card's pretty cool because he has infinite attack. This card cannot be special summoned except with Orichalcos Shuneros. When this card is summoned, send all cards in your hand to the graveyard and your life points become 0. This card gains infinite attack. This card cannot declare an attack unless you send the top 10 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Which, by the way, if you declare an attack on like an attack monster or, open field, that's game.
Yeah.
And then when you control this card, you cannot lose the duel. So just because your life points is 0 doesn't mean you lose. As long as he is on the field or you control him, you are still in this. So like if your opponent comes back with enemy controller, guess what, buds? You lost. Now we have Mirror Knight Calling. I like this card. This card is fun. And then Orichalcos, I haven't said it for a while, Orichalcos Mirror. And we have 2 sets of these in the Dart deck. You activate this, you tribute monsters that have the stars, that level stars equal 6 or more from your field or your hand, and then you summon Mirror Knight Calling from your deck or hand. It's pretty cool.
And then that allows you to summon...
And then with that, you summon 4 tokens. Alright? These tokens are neat because they possess a counter. They're called, it's called... Mirror Knight tokens, and they possess a shield counter. The shield counter is badass. I mean, it's when you attack them, when they do
like
battle, when they do battle with a monster, they mirror image the opponent's monster. So the counter gains the attack of the opponent's monster, which means your opponent's monster is destroyed. And so would the token if not for the counter's other effect, and that the counter is destroyed instead of your token. Now, the other thing that's cool, Mirror Knight Calling, as long as he's on the field once per turn, you can add a shield counter to a card. So one of your tokens.
So when he's summoned, you want to kill that bastard.
if a token loses its counter, you activate his effect, put a new counter on it. So that's those guys. And they go really good with the ideal situation for summoning him. Seal of Orichalcos. Because you can have back row monsters. So here's your summoned monster. Here's your spell cards. Wait, you've got this. Now here's your summoned monsters. Here's your spell cards, your trap cards, and your monsters. What? All right. Now here's the other cool thing. Your monsters gain 500 attack. All of them. All right. So then the other thing that's added to that, your back row monsters can't be attacked until your front row monsters are gone. So when you summon your Mirror Knight Calling, you put him in the back row and your tokens in the front. And that's how you do it, because the token's got to go before your opponent can attack your monster there. All right, so now with the Seal of Orichalcos, we have Orichalcos Dartz, which has all the same things as that. Even gains the same name once he's on the field. You can't put him on the field unless the Seal of Orichalcos is on the field. So once that happens, you got seals out, new seals in. You gain the added bonus of gaining 500 life points during your main phase. So here's something else you've got to remember to do. And then on top of that, if your opponent attacks you directly, you contribute one monster to destroy the attacking monster. All right, so next we have Orichalcos Dartz, which still has the same effect as these two. Plus, it's got a new effect, and it is... See, I gotta read it here. This is wall face up on the field. This card's name is also still the Seal of Orichalcos, and it gains the effects
of the previous two cards, pretty
exactly.
much.
And then, if monsters you control would be affected by the effects of your opponent's spell or trap cards, you negate the effects and destroy that card. So, like, Mirror Force is no longer an option for your opponent. Next, we have Orichalcos Quadros. Yeah, 3 wasn't enough. There's a 4th one. All right, and so it's got all those effects, plus it's got an added one of once per turn when one of your opponent's monsters activates its effect, you can negate and destroy it, then summon it to your side of the field in face-up defense position. That monster cannot be tributed or used for a... What does that say? There's a little sticker. Why do they put stickers on these cards? Synchro Summon. Alright, then we're still not done. There's Orichalcos Pentos. Alright, so this is the 5th and final one of these cards. He's still making it awesome. I said he, yes. This one has all the other effects and the same name. Plus, once per turn, you can special summon one monster from your graveyard. Summoning conditions are ignored. So that's pretty cool. That would mean if you've got a monster that's in your graveyard that says must first be sent from the field to the graveyard or something like that, fuck that rule. You can special summon him. Then on to our next Orichalcos spell card, and we're going to get into all of the rest of the spell cards here. We got Orichalcos Eye. This is a continuous spell card, and we have 2 of them. All right. You activate this card. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points to add 1 Orichalcos card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So this is how you get back some of your 1 cards that you accidentally sent there that you need. So then we have Orichalcos Sword of Sealing. Now, this card's pretty neat. A little confusing when I first read it. Discard 1 card. Any effects of monsters of the equipped monster are negated. Any effects that the equipped monster activates when destroyed are also negated. So I'm sitting here when I first saw this, I'm like, why would I put that on my own monster then? You could put that on your opponent's monster. Like, it's pretty cool. Then we have Twin Bow Centaur? I don't even know. Yep. Centaur, yeah, I guess. It looks like a centaur, I suppose.
That's what it is.
This card is, you cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card's effects. Once per turn during your main phase 1, you can select 1 monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls. Then toss a coin. If you call it right, banish the monster your opponent controls, and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of that monster. If you call it wrong, you have to do that.
I'm going to interrupt Shane there, let him get a breath real fast, guys. And I want to say, if you guys have any questions on these card effects or anything, just message us and we'll tell you exactly what they do. And also, if you guys would like to buy this deck, let us know and we can probably have one made and sent to you. So just let us know.
All right. Next, we have Impact Revive. This card is your Monster Reborn of the deck, and we have 2 of them. Activate only during your main phase 2. Select and special summon 1 monster from either player's graveyard that was destroyed by battle this turn. Ignoring the summoning conditions, it gains 500 attack. You can conduct another battle phase this turn. So that's pretty awesome. So it's like main phase 2, and then you go main phase 1 again. I actually totally read over that last part every other time I played this. So I'm going to remember that for the next time. Orichalco Stone. This is a cool trap card, and it's probably my new favorite trap card, even though it's fake.
They need to make this card real, though. Konami, get on it, motherfuckers.
When one of your opponent's monsters declares an attack, you can negate the attack, end the turn, and draw 3 cards. If any of the cards you drew are Orichalco's monsters or cards at all, you can then send the other ones, or all of them if you've got multiple, to the graveyard and then pick 3 more Orichalco's cards out of your deck to add to your hand.
Best trap card in the game.
It's sick. It's sweet. Then we have Martyr Curse. We've got 2 of those. This trap card's pretty cool too. Activate only during the battle phase. Select 1 face-up monster you control and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Those monsters must battle this turn. If your opponent's monster is an effect monster, negate the effects and end the damage step. Or until the end of the damage step.
So it's kind of like Super Junior Confrontation, except better.
Then we have Card of Last Will. Now, these are 2 fake cards, even though there is like a real Card of Last Will. But this one says, when one of your opponent's monsters is destroyed by battle, draw cards until you have your hand has 5 cards. So yeah, that's that card right there, and I think it's a cool picture.
Definitely very cool.
So guys, that is it. My hand is empty now. I don't think I can talk for too much longer, so I'm glad it's over. Once again, if you would like to, maybe hear more about the effects, we can make a list, send it to you. And then if you want to buy this deck, we can make another one and send that to you. So, just make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and, yeah, take care, guys.
Peace.